The 2015 Arena Football League season did not disappoint, providing fans with an array of memorable fast-paced images and highlights.
Goes over the top.
One-handed touchdown. Nice catch.
Flat out explosive.
Right on time. Did he get jacked?
And he's pumped. The people's elbow.
Now a new season is set to kick off. The 29th season of the Arena Football League begins now. We welcome you to the Arena Football League on CBS Sports Network. It's opening night of the 29th season of the AFL from the Moda Center in Portland. Tonight we match up longtime league powerhouse Arizona, five-time Arena Bowl champions, against the Portland Steel, hungry for a big 2016 International Conference game. Hello again, everyone, and welcome to Portland. It's great to have you with us. Dave Ryan alongside Ced Bonner, AFL Hall of Famer. We're joined by Taylor Rooks on our broadcast as well, and we went through a lot of these opening nights. Ced, what's it like for the players out there?
I think nervousness, jitters, but the one big thing you really think about, it's a clean slate, a fresh start for every team. Every team has a chance to get there at the end.
Well, the Rattlers came so close to another Arena Bowl championship last year, lost in the conference title game, and Nick Davila returns. Brilliant quarterback.
He is brilliant. All this guy has done since he's been in the league is win and score some more. He just understands the game. He sees it. He's a fast and quick processor of information, has the laser arm. He can get the ball into tight spaces. This guy missed 4 games, 87 touchdowns, 10 interceptions a year ago, but this guy has over 26,000 yards passing in just 6 years of playing quarterback. He is a dominant force in this league.
It is a new season, so there are some changes. That includes Danny Southwick, the quarterback of Portland. Last year he played for the LA Kiss and against Arizona had 7 touchdowns. He's looking for a big night tonight.
You know, the Kiss won 4 games a year ago. Who was a quarterback in 3 of those? Danny Southwick. This guy is outstanding when he has time to throw the ball. He's one of the more accurate passers you'll see in this league if he has time to hang it in there. This team has to give him some protection. He also upset the expecting champions last year, San Jose, when they were 11-0. He upset them in their own building. He can get it done if they protect.
When we come back to Portland, it is game time. AFL Year 29 starts right here on CBS Sports Network.
And we got to be the more physical team. I'm telling you that right now. When we come out for intros, it's straight business, okay? They think we're the warm-up act and they're the headliners. That's what they think walking into our building. And we got to make sure they know right now we're not getting off the stage, right? Get in your mind right now. We're going to be the more physical team. We're going to dominate the line of scrimmage. We're going to out-hustle these guys. I don't care how many years they've been playing together, what their situation is. They come in with the highest pedigree in the league, #1 franchise, whatever it is. I don't care. We got to play together. We got to be the best we can be tonight. Be about each other. Fight for one another. Make sure you guys know the guy next to you is going to want it as bad as you want it, and you got to want it worse. Everybody in this locker room pulling together. Coaches, players, let's make sure the energy level through the roof tonight. Give them everything you got and a little bit more, and we're going to come out on top of this thing. Woo! Can you give me everything tonight? I mean, leave it out there. That's what I want. And if you could do that, we're going to all be proud of what we put on the field tonight. Let's go out and attack this thing. Have
a very impressive first pregame speech for a brand new Portland Steel head coach, Ron James. 7th year overall, the 2012 Coach of the Year said. To get you pumped up?
Yeah, I'm ready to go right now. Show me the locker room.
Quarterback Danny Southwick for Portland, joined now by Taylor Rooks.
All right, Danny, right before this, you told me that you've lost track of the AFL teams that you've been on, and today is your first game as the starting quarterback at the start of the season. What does this mean to you and your journey?
Well, it's just a long time coming for me. You know, I've been in the league for about 5 years now on a number of different teams. and I've started my share of games, but this is the first opportunity I've had to be in a camp, get comfortable with the team, and be familiar with plays. Last year, I had 2 games where I came in, I had 1 practice with the team, and then was starting a day later. Twice. Once for Spokane, once for LA. So obviously a very different situation. What a great opportunity to play against the top team in the league in Arizona, and a great challenge for our team, and a lot of fun for me.
Very formidable foe for you guys. What do you need in your offense to come away with a victory tonight?
I think bottom line is we just need to execute every single play to the best of our ability. You know, we can't worry too much about all of the accolades that they have. At the end of the day in arena football, offense has the advantage. So it comes down to us executing the plays that we've run again and again, and staying composed, and leaving it on the field. Hopefully we come away with a win.
All right. Well, thanks, Danny. Back to you guys.
Thanks. Danny Southwick is ready.
Got to be happy for a guy like Danny who's bought his time. He's done everything asked of him from every team, and he gets this opportunity. It's special.
Rules of the game. 4 15-minute quarters. After the 1-minute warning, end of each half, things will change. There are no punts in the arena game. 1 wideout will be in motion to increase the chance of receptions and lots of points in offense tonight. Alex Zendejas is set to kick it off. Jared Perry, 5th-year man from Missouri, plays it off the nets tonight. Touchback. And we'll see Danny Southwick, having spoken just a moment ago to Taylor, field level, first start at Portland.
It's really important for Danny and this offense to get settled in quickly, get him some confidence going. You see he's got decent numbers. He's done a nice job. We talked about in the open about giving him time and protection to make throws. He's just got to get out and play his game, and he's not a kind of guy that gets rattled. He's a very calm individual, so look for him to just weather the storm and come out and try to play well.
Perry is the motion man, and Southwick is throwing to Perry. Can't bring it in. Incomplete. Bubba Chapman on coverage out of Kansas State. 2nd down coming up here for the Steel.
Really nice sail route. I think the ball was a little bit late coming out of his hand. Sometimes you get that guy in back motion. If you let him get too close to the line on some of your angular timing routes, it can get away from you a little bit. Ball's a little bit late, but Perry's got to pull that one in for his QB.
Southwick with Spokane, the shock LA Kiss a year ago. Now it's his team. On 2nd down. Catch made. Jared Perry has the grab. He's outside the 13-yard line, 3rd and short coming up.
One thing this Arizona team does in the secondary, they will tackle well as you get a look at the starting lineup. Portland offense, this group of guys come together. The offensive line has been talked about. And inside, you want to look at the big play of the people up front. They will have a huge impact on this game.
Truesdale is in motion. Southwick looking for Truesdale. Sideline route, he's got it. Touchdown! Truesdale. Now that's a 3rd down conversion. Our first points in 2016 for Portland or Arizona.
You're going to watch this beautiful throw. Watch the raindrop drop into the living room right in your lap. Truesdale at 6'6", 235. DBs think they can get up in his space and keep him from getting down the field. That's a great release, and look at the throw by Danny Southwick. Beautiful.
On the money. Ernesto Lequeo played with the Outlaws last year. 2nd-year man from Hastings College, tacks on the PAT, and what a start. In his first start as a member of the Portland Steel. Good news for the Steel. Nick Truesdale has the touchdown catch from Danny Southwick. Bad news, may have sprained an ankle. Being looked at now. And said you noticed this on the low-angle replay a moment ago watching that touchdown.
You're going to watch the drag down from behind. He strips trying to come, but right there the right ankle gets caught underneath. And good job of finishing the play by Marcus Smith. Nothing intentional there, but just drug him down. He's so long, legs got caught underneath, and you hope that he's able to return.
Lequeo will kick off from the goal line. Mike Washington on the return. Has a seam out to the 17. And that's where the Rattlers, 14-4 a year ago, but fell to the SaberCats in that thrilling conference championship a year ago. Taylor, how's Truesdell doing?
Truesdell's visibly frustrated right now. He's holding on to his right ankle. The trainers did tape it up. He's telling his teammates that it hurts pretty bad, but he's hoping to get back in. But he did call Danny Southwick over and say, hey, I know I'm hurt, but you're the man. So his morale is up, even though he may be a little hurt on the sideline.
Yeah, that's awesome. That is excited. Great first play.
On first down, this is Rod Windsor, longtime star. And as we talked about, said, top of the broadcast, Nick Davila, 7th year. 2014 AFL Player of the Year, has done it all. And we saw him in the team hotel last night. Motivated, he said. I am ready to go in 2016.
3 straight titles, 656 career touchdown passes. I mean, but you can't tell. This guy's like a first-year guy. He's coming in. He's hungry right now.
Throws, and Reed makes the catch. Stopped inside the 20-yard line.
Toughest route to cover is lateral route. You see just in route across the middle, using the motion. You can keep the jack away from it. I mean, it is really tough to cover that route.
Jack Backer, Bryce Pila, 4th-year man from Western Oregon on the stop. First down. Washington motion man in the end zone. Incomplete.
You got to have that.
Thought he had it, went over the barrier and right into the steel bench.
This one gets on him a little bit late. You see great protection up front. Ball delivered. Yeah, you got to bring that one in. And you know, Mike missed a ton of games, so he still ran him back in form. It's good to see him moving and running, but that's one he'd like to have back.
The flag was on Portland for an illegal formation. So it's a first down from about the 11.
You get one of your defensive linemen to jump out, get out of their stance. And that's where it goes down.
Windsor in motion. Windsor back in the end zone. Touchdown, Rattlers. Rod Windsor has done it again.
And that guy is not putting it on the ground. If it touches those hands, he's bringing it in.
He's going to catch it right every time.
This guy is a big target. He's shifty. They don't use him a ton in motion, but when he goes in motion, he's extremely effective. Another crossing route. You see the nice delivery over the top, soft touch, drops in the back of the corner. Great throw.
Alex Zendejas in for the PAT. Yes, he's related to all the other great Zendejas kickers. Blocked. Can be returned for 2, dead ball. And no good to keep it a 7-6 game.
I believe it was either Dexter Davis Jr. or Brandon Cisse with the block. It's a great effort up front, push, push, push. Every point counts. You got to take a look at some great hustle up front. The big push and the steal. Stay out front.
Beautiful Oregon coast, not far from here in Portland. Cannon Beach, Haystack Rock, lovely scenery. We're downtown. 29th season of Arena Football kicking off on CBS Sports Network. Zendejas will kick off. Had the PAT blocked a moment ago. Perry, the return man. That was a challenge. That's a touchback. You never know. If it hits the bar, it's live. New look, Arena Football this year, said.
Yeah, 2 conferences and talk about everybody being in the playoffs. It's not your same old, but however, with the small sample size of players, the talent pool has shrunk. So the talent's going to be better on every team. It's going to be competitive. Looking forward to seeing what happens this season.
Truesdale is out there. Gilbley split far right, top of your screen, but looks hobbled. Southwick on first down, looking for Gilson. Some contact with Brown. And no flag. Incomplete. Rattler defense, who do you look for have a big game tonight?
I'm looking at Bubba Chapman, Alan Chapman. His third season, he takes over in the middle. He has been close on numerous throws inside and done a nice job. He's bought his time, and he's kind of played his way into the lineup and gained that trust of Coach Kevin Guy.
Here's second down. Southwick, some heat. Throws way too high for Perry, incomplete. And that's a souvenir. You can keep it. Any ball into the stands, you can take home. I love that part of the arena.
That's the best part of this game, and I mean, it's such a great game, man. I don't want to sit up and start talking about it because it'll take me all day.
Hey, we got a couple hours. Go ahead.
Love the way he used his hands on that catch, though. Didn't body it up.
Grab.
That was a good job
And
of
he
being
covered
focused.
right away.
It's
He
early
protected
season.
the ball. Here's third down. Southwick from the end zone. Sideline route.
That's a catch off the wall.
Off the wall. It's a live ball and a catch. Now officials confer. Our referee Dave Kataya tonight. We'll get a conference. Incomplete.
Mike Brown, when the ball hit the second upper barrier, that makes it incomplete.
You see the Les Schwab sign up top and hit this area up there, and that's why it's incomplete. Had it hit the wall, the normal wall, and come down without hitting that, then it's a completion and play on, but it did not. Right now, the Portland receivers are having a hard time separating from the Rattler defensive backs.
Keep an eye on Colt Laerla, former star in Oregon. Here's fourth down. Southwick goes to Perry. Bubba Chapman takes the big hit on Jared Perry. First down out to the 24.
Former teammates. You see the deep in route. Ball thrown on time, and Perry goes up, knows he's going to get hit, but is able to secure it. But you see how tight that coverage is. You got to make some throws in close windows. Really good throw on time. And move the sticks.
Big early conversion. Laerla makes the catch. Marcus Smith, second-year man from Nevada, has the play defensively. Colt Laerla, up and down career, interesting path to play here for the Steel, open for a big season.
He is, and he's a physical, big receiver that can run. However, he's going to have to learn the little nuances of this game to use his hands. He's a tight end, so he should be great at that. Play tight end, should be great at that, but when guys are impeding your space, you got to use your hands to get up and get away.
Gilson streaks in motion. On second down. Intercepted, Brown makes the pick. Trying to bring it back for a pick six. He does! Touchdown! Keith Brown for the Rattlers.
Can't say how great of a catch this was. Stumbling down, throws his hands up, and makes a catch. Watch how nice a job he does here. It's a good read by Southwick. He just throws the ball out in front too far. The ball's tipped. And our Keith does a great job. Hand-eye coordination off the charts right there. You steal a possession and get points with it. That's a killer right there.
Missed that one. Zendejas and the Rattlers PAT unit 0 for 2. One blocked, one wide.
The angle that Jared Perry comes out in is not tight enough. He's got to wrap the jack and get back in the vision of the quarterback. This is just an exceptional job by our Keith Brown, starting off the season just right.
$12-7 game. Pick six. A moment ago, Keith Brown of the Rattlers. Sunday at 8 Eastern, the toughest sport on dirt takes the stage in South Dakota, the PBR Built Ford Tough Series, first Premier Bank Card Invitational. right here on CBS Sports Network, the 24-hour home of CBS Sports. Good start for the road team. Markeith Brown, all-arena performer in 2012 and 13. The pick six, first of the year. For either side, Zendejas and the Rattler PAT unit better figure things out here.
Well, Zendejas better figure. I mean, this is a tough league to be a kicker because there's so many former guys that did it that want to get back and keep doing it. So you got to figure out something, either it's to hold or whatnot. Great effort getting downfield.
Smith. Marcus Smith, nice play on special teams, nailing Jared Perry.
Kevin Guy's record, man, 8th season. I mean, that is just getting it done year in and year out. I tell you, you know, having a being a psychology major in college helps him out because he figures out how to get to guys and he really knows how to get the best out of these guys year in and year out.
Three-time Arena Bowl champ, 2012 to 2014. Runs the show in the desert. Southwick's pass, not close, incomplete.
They try to set the screen up, and there's too much penetration. Antosh Hawthorne, who's been around a long time, but when this guy wants to get off the football, there is really no stopping him. Big 77 gets in and gets his hand on Southwick's arm as he's trying to throw the screenplay. You got to take a little bit longer on your set if you're the center in front of Hawthorne.
6'3", 345, the 8th-year man from Wisconsin disrupts Southwick. So it's second down from the end zone. Feeling some heat, incomplete. Lyerla, intended receiver near the 15. Bubba Chapman on coverage.
Someone's got to separate. If you look at this coverage, I mean, it's hip to hip. It's as tight as you and I are up here in the booth. Hip to hip, you got to get some separation.
Just don't tackle me, man, okay? Please.
I don't do that.
It's our first night together.
That means I'm throwing interceptions. I don't like doing that.
Great conversation today we had with Ron James. Named head coach January 31st here in Portland. He was ready to play at 9 in the morning. Third down, Southwick. Gilson has the catch. Chapman rings him up. 14, or at the 9-yard line.
Short storm route. Get a completion, get it going, but you see Coach James, and he's been around a long time, been with some really good teams. Utah, he has been all over the place. Las Vegas, was in Cleveland last year, was in Pittsburgh when they had a magical year and came one game away from going to the title 2 years ago.
50-2, 2014 power team. They're really good. Here's fourth down. Southwick. Go route. Incomplete at the 5-yard line. Streaking was Perry. Can't catch up with it.
And this is a situation where you're not ready to throw the ball. Your receiver is by the DB early. He still takes a full 3-step drops. Me, if I see this, I'm pulling up, aborting. I'm just going to hang it up early. The longer the ball's in air, your chances of completing it decrease tremendously. You got to get it up a little faster if you're Danny Southwick. Give your guy a chance at least to draw a PI call.
The great field position for the Rattlers now. Washington streaks in motion. Davila, corner of the end zone. Windsor has another one. Touchdown, Rod Windsor, his second of the night.
Accuracy.
And the Rattlers strike quickly, said Bonner.
Accuracy. It's a little Q route from Windsor. He's going to bring it down inside. He wants Mike Washington, but doesn't get it. But look at the placement on this ball. That's just hours and hours working together, honing your craft and being a professional.
Already, 2 missed PATs for Zendejas. Shane Boyd holds.
Extra point attempt is good. Number 4.
Finally, Zendejas and the Rattlers have a PAT. Not sure Coach Guy will mind too much because they're off to a great start. Davila, as said, talked about. Pinpoint accuracy, touchdown.
The Latin Laser gets off to a fast start. with great accuracy and touch. See the quick throw, and then on the edge, look at the outside throw and the catch. He's outstanding, and all hard work he put in the offseason and well documented. He's been working his tail off trying to get back and trying to take this league back to where he had it a few years ago when he was an Arena Bowl champion. He's off to a great start.
Missed 4 weeks last year, foot injury. Hungry and ready for Big 2016. Zendejas kicks to Perry again. Return to about the 5-yard line.
It's actually
Mike by Mike McMillan this time.
Yeah. You want to get a guy chances, but this offense has to answer right here. You must answer.
Nah, you good.
Dan Southwick from the Salt Lake City, Utah area. What a journey it's been. We talked about 3 different FBS programs, twice to a JC in Utah, and finished up at Occidental. Just unbelievable. Trail. Catch Gilson on the sideline. The boards. And Chapman and Smith are there to hit him.
Really good timing on this one. You see the great sail route. 1, 2, 3, gets the ball out of his hands. Good job by the offensive line getting hands down from the Rattler defensive players, giving that nice throwing lane. But you talk about Occidental and that powerhouse. You know how smart you got to be to get in that school. I mean, it is. You've got to be very intelligent. I definitely not get it. I might be able to clean it up and sweep some floors or something.
On first down, Gilson again to target.
He's got to be careful. He's a little late. He's running an 8-yard route, and he's taking a quick 5 and hitching, throwing that ball. Those DBs are going to get closer and closer, and you see them playing with a little more confidence each and every drive. They're getting closer and closer to these receivers from the steal.
Bubba Chapman, defensive back, played with Portland last year on the stop. Final moments of the quarter. Southwick, Gilson, in busy. Chapman brings him up. At the 6, first and goal. When we begin the second quarter. Five-time Arena Bowl champ. Arizona off to a great start. Got a 19-7 lead on the steal from here in downtown Portland. Opening night, there is nothing like it. Energy, emotion, passion, and of course, touchdowns. It's the Arena Football League on CBS Sports Network. You want access to every AFL game at once? Then go to arenafootball.com. Click AFL Live online broadcast of all games around the league, of which there were 2 others going on tonight and 1 tomorrow. Jacksonville takes on the LA Kiss from SoCal. How about Philadelphia pounding Cleveland? And the latest installment of the War on I-4 and throwback night in Tampa. A bad night for the Storm.
A very bad night for the Storm. Orlando came out ready to play, and both all into the field. Come on, offense, defense, special teams, took care of business. Sweet Pea Hibbert was awesome. Those guys got it done tonight.
Dan Rattleball had 7 touchdown passes in that Philadelphia Soul win over Cleveland. Underway, second quarter. Southwick on first and goal. Slant, end zone, touchdown. Larla, the former Oregon Duck, has his first touchdown in a Steel uni.
Tell you what, Southwick stuck it on him. And I'm not so sure he was throwing that to Larla, but the ball sticks. You've got a dragon concept with an out and a slant behind it. The out gets upfield too much. Jared Perry is in the middle of that route. He should be a little shallower, but a great job of concentration from the former Oregon Duck.
High snap. Ernesto Lequeo has a PAT.
Number 17, your kicker.
The hold from Casey Peters.
So is that all we got to do is challenge a team and say they need to score and they get it done? This is a nice job Nice job on the slant route and really good concentration because there's a lot going on. Jared Perry gets upfield too deep on his out route, and he gets shoved right into the slant. But it ends up working out. Great job of concentrating. And I think that ball was going to Jared Perry.
I think you're right.
But Lurla does a nice job of finding it and making a good thing out of a kind of a mixed up play there. That was a really nice job of concentrating and bringing it down.
And he's celebrating. Tight end, H-back tight at Oregon. Left school, some off-field problems. He's from Hillsborough High School right here in the Portland area. And he's got a pretty cool nickname too.
Bane. That's a great nickname. One that I could never have because obviously you got to be built guy, buff guy.
You got to be tough. You got to be. You're a big dude.
I might be a tough guy, but you got to be buffed out. Bane's buffed out guy. I mean, he's got veins coming out everywhere.
We'll let him have that nickname. Lakeo kicks Washington off the nets. Live ball, watch it. Grabs it near the goal line. That's dangerous. He was just outside the goal line to about the half-yard line. And that's where Arizona takes over. Flirting with disaster, Mike Washington.
Flirting is the right word, I'll tell you what. First of all, you can't let that ball bounce. You see how low it's kicked. It's kicked close to the bars. It's going to shoot out a little bit further. And I don't know. He's laying on the field with the ball, but crawls back into the end zone. He's kind of giving himself up, though. So I would give him that credit as well. He tries to get up and goes back in the end zone.
And there is going to be a challenge. Ron James hesitant to throw that red flag. You get 2 challenges in regulation time. A third if it's upheld. We're going to take a look here with our referee, Dave Kataya.
And he gets up to try to get going again. This might be trouble for Arizona.
Here's my prediction, partner. The ball was already outside the end zone, and it had broken the plane going out. I don't think there can be a safety here, but let's find out. We've got the Arena Football call to the booth. Dave Kataya going to get on the headset for us and take us through the play from our great production crew here in Portland.
We'd like to remind you that we're glad that you're here for your first ever Portland Steel game. We hope you have a good time tonight and that you come back and join us for the Steel's next home game, Saturday, May 7th, when the Los Angeles Kiss roll into Portland for a game that starts at 7 o'clock. Go to pdxsteel.com for the full schedule and ticket information. That's pdxsteel.com.
They're just trying to. You're trying to see where the ball is in correlation to when he picks it up and goes back in the end zone. But right here, he's in the field of play. No one's touched him, and he gets up to go back in. His momentum was on the 1-inch line. However,
So, challenge denied for Ron James. They lose a timeout.
when he was tackled, he was pushed back into the end zone. He went to sit up in the end zone, or just outside the end zone, and was shoved back into the end zone. That's a good call, and you had it right all along, partner.
He was the ball location. The adder can't bring that in at the 4. And we apologize for the technical issues we had there with Dave Kataya a moment ago.
That's a tough catch for Chase Adder, who stands at all of 6'3", 6'4", to try and go down and make that catch. That one just got away from Nick. It's a quick throw. Good chance for this defense to gain a little momentum, try to make some big plays.
Noise level cranking up. Second down from the end zone. Windsor, the catch. Bumped into the barrier outside the 15, first down, Rattlers.
Tim Shelley's got to squeeze that a little bit sooner. It's a zone coverage, but as soon as the next man, number 2 receiver, goes inside, you've got to get closer to your guy. Especially a guy like Rod Windsor, who, when he gets the ball in his hand, is very dangerous.
Two touchdown catches already. Flag down. Davila almost down. Throws in the move. Deanna, it's intercepted.
Coming back.
Picked off at the 19-yard line, but there is a flag down. Tim Shelley, the second, fourth-year man from Fort Valley State, has the pick. Let's see if it stands.
No, Dexter Davis is out of his stance.
Offside. Defense, number 11.
So they had it right. Dexter Davis, guilty party.
And Nick's using this hard cadence. He knows they have those quick edge rushers. You kind of slow guys down by changing the influx of your voice. And right here, you're going to see him go. And he just barely gets out of there. I mean, what a tough break for Portland. A really good effort on defense that play. Shelley almost had the sack.
Benson, first carry of the game for the big guy. Cut down shy of the 20. Michael Benson, second team All-Arena 2014, 275 pounds from FAMU, and he's tough to stop.
He really is, and has really soft hands. Had 16 receptions a year ago, 17 touchdowns on the ground. This is a guy that adds that fourth element to your offense. A lot of teams don't have it. They don't like to use a fullback. You use an extra offensive lineman, but this gives the Rattlers an advantage using a fullback.
Davila time, throws, Windsor, easy, touchdown Arizona. Rod Windsor's third of the game. No defender near Rod Windsor.
You got crossing routes. And you watch the Rattlers in their stem. There's two receivers together in a stem, and they break opposite directions, and that's what causes the confusion. But that offensive line had to hold up a long time for that to happen. And you see Rod was a little shocked that he was all by himself there. And that's an easy one for the Rattlers.
Zendejas for the PAT. Trouble. Throwback. Intercepted. This is taken back for points for Portland if it's brought back, and what a play to stop it on a wild sequence. Near disaster. Sergio Gilliam had the pick and trying to bring it back for points for the steal. PAT unit struggles again for Arizona.
They do. A low snap, gets away from Shane Boyd, he stumbles, but then no, don't throw it across the field. No, but look at the hustle by the big man. Tracks him down, tracks it down and stops him. Takes the momentum away.
(25-14), third failed PAT of the game for Arizona, but still a lead. Second quarter from downtown Portland. One more time with that TD. Why was Windsor so all by himself, Sid?
There's a mix-up in coverage. You play zones, and Arizona runs what's like a trail where two guys are on the exact same stem, and they both break at the same time. And if you hesitate or go the wrong direction, instead of just saying, I got the guy that comes to me, you take the other guy. The secondary got confused back there.
McMillan to receive. Fields it cleanly off the net. Driven into the barrier, shy of the 10. Back down to Taylor.
All right, guys, you know, Windsor having a big game today, but both Rod Windsor and Coach Guy are from the same hometown in Alabama. Their high schools are about 5 to 10 minutes apart, and Coach Guy even played football against Windsor's uncle when they were growing up. Coach said that he never has to worry about Rod acting up because he said, if I have issues with him, I just call his grandma and she straightens him out, which is probably a grandson's worst nightmare.
Bessemer, Alabama, by the way, Taylor, as we learned from Coach Guy today, same hometown as Bo Jackson, the all-around sports legend.
He was pretty good at a lot of stuff.
Pretty good.
Number 66 offense is eligible.
Windsor's had himself a game. 3 TDs already. Southwick first down. Trouble with a handle. Knocked down. Is that a loose ball? Dave Kataya says touchdown. Touchdown the goal line for Damian Burrell.
Touchdown, Rattlers.
Lou Castillo got in there and knocked it loose. But listen, when you're in your red zone or you're anywhere near your end zone as a quarterback, that clock has to go off, and you got to get that ball out of your hand. And I know they're on the 6, but right here he pauses and hesitates. If you don't like what you see, especially against this team, you know this team is coming up front. You got to shoot it over one of those receivers' heads out of bounds.
Nothing like a defensive touchdown for those guys out front who work so hard to get to the quarterback. He'll protect here for Zendejas on the PAT. Boyd brings in this snap, and Zendejas nails this kick. It has been an adventure on the point after unit for the Rattlers tonight.
Number 4, Alex Zendejas.
32-14.
You see the drop, but you got to have a clock in your head, especially if your guys are cutting up front. And right there you see Lou Vasquez get his hands in there and take him down. Ball comes out. That's what the big guys love to see. It only happens every now and then.
And I didn't see the huge celebration from Burrell there. Generally, defensive guys score a touchdown. It's a big deal.
Yeah, they go bonkers. But he's got a 30 number on. He's got 32 on, so maybe he's used to scoring touchdowns. I just don't remember seeing him score a ton of touchdowns.
That play was blown up here right by Luis Vasquez, former All-Arena defensive end, 6-year man from Arizona State, got right in the face of Southwick, who had trouble, it looked like, said from the beginning of that play with the handle of the ball.
Well, and he didn't like his front side. And like I said, I think he's taking a little too long getting away from center. He's got to get out of there a little faster. Things are getting in his face before he can even see the receivers. He's just got to get out faster. And if you don't like it, don't try to turn back to go the other way. It's first down. Throw it out of bounds over your receiver's head that you don't like. Throw it out of bounds. Make another new friend in the stands. They'll love you forever.
Ron James so optimistic in our discussion today with him about Danny Southwick. Once Shane Austin left for the CFL here in Portland, Southwick, pretty seamless transition to be the #1 guy. But it's really been a tough start for him tonight. McMillan deep in the end zone. Smacked at about the 1.
Marcus Smith.
Heavy contact from Smith just outside the goal line. A punishing play. Wow.
Listen, right now the special teams are tough, but right here no one's blocking. You got a short kick that doesn't hit the net, and that's all you get out of it. That's not a good effort by the Steel special teams.
Second-year man from Nevada in the Mountain West, Wolfpack. Out of Corona, California, Marcus Smith, a thunderous hit on special teams against McMillan. And Southwick and company back deep in their own end again to begin this drive. It's not easy, too, said, for his confidence coming off that last play.
It isn't. Especially backed up here against this pass rush. They're going to have their ears pinned back and pushing.
Gilson the catch. Stopped right away by Bubba Chapman. Ruled down on contact.
It's a good throw. You get a little breathing room out of the end zone. You just got to be aware and be on time with what you're doing. And right now, I keep talking about him being slow coming away from center. If you watch his snap, he's not moving, and his guys are a couple yards downfield already. He's got to get out of there a little quicker and move his feet.
On second down, Gilson can't bring this one in. Chapman on coverage. Pretty good contact near the 20. Tom Gilson out of UMass. From Mansfield, Massachusetts. Boston area guy. He's a really good high school quarterback and wide receiver.
We got to mention the fact that Nick Truesdale still hasn't returned to the game. Had a 43-yard touchdown pass early on in the game. A big target. Now they're going to their backup quarterback in Casey Peters to come in and run some routes.
Southwick from the end zone. Here comes pressure. Lost the ball again. This time lunges forward and got to about the 2-yard line to avoid more disaster offensively for the Steel.
And this is where not having a fullback or a lineman in the backfield that is athletic enough to carry the ball comes into play. The pass rush is coming. You've seen no screen game, and that's typically what happens. That's how you get those guys off you. You use the screen game. You can't go five-step. Not against this team because they'll find a way to get home. Glasper and Hawthorne in the middle are two of the best in the league to do it.
4th down. Deep ball. Touchdown, finally. Jared Perry gets something going for Portland.
Number 6, Jared Perry, and steal.
Southwick took a big hit on this one, but watch the timing on this throw. 5 steps, a hitch, and gets it up. Hangs in there and just gives Jared Perry a chance to run it down. And Bubba Chapman gets smoked on that route. The nice corner route from Jared Perry. And the worst of all possible scenarios for Arizona. You're dominating a team, and then you give that up on a big play. You let them get an easy one.
Low snap. Lakeo nails the PAT. Just inside the right upright. Perry, 5th-year man from Missouri, on the long connection. This was pretty.
It is very pretty. Up and early down the chimney. Jared Perry says, give me the ball.
Mike, downtown Portland, Oregon's 32-21 game. Rattlers leading the Portland Steel opening night 2016. Jared Perry, long touchdown connection a moment ago with Southwick. Bubba Chapman nowhere near Perry. Easy touchdown for the Steel, who crossed the Geico goal line.
That's just a tremendous throw and a really good route. What Jared Perry was able to do is get up on the toes of Bubba Chapman and make him exercise what's called a head whip, and he wasn't able to get it and continue moving. Too much speed, and Perry's out of there. That was a great throw and catch. That's what it's supposed to look like, folks. The beauty of this game right there.
Squib kick, directional. Flag flies.
It's going to be offsides and batting.
Batting that, the definition of which into the crowd, and that young fan gets a souvenir ball. That's the good news for him. Let's check out the marker.
And what a high kick. That thing was launched. So you're going to have the offsides for sure. The second may be a batting. I'm not sure.
There are 2 fouls on the play. Offside to the kicking team. Number 21, illegal batting on the receiving team. 81. There's also a carryover foul from the roughing the passer, number 32, on Arizona. All those penalties offset at the spot of the bat. First down.
Okay.
Well, I understand these 2 penalties were offset, but not the carryover penalty. I don't know why that doesn't carry in. However, there's the bat. You see the offsides, and that's illegal. Used to be legal when I played. You could just knock the ball out of there.
Down looks for Benson. Knocked down incomplete. Brandon Cisse played his college ball at Texas Tech last year. Played for the Storm in the Arena League.
That's a heads-up play by Cisse. Feels it, understands what's happening, and drifts a little bit, gets his big paw up there and knocks it down. You got to be smart to play defensive end in this league because you're going to see so many things, especially with a team that'll utilize its bigs in the passing game.
Windsor has 3 touchdown catches already. Dabble this time goes to Reed, who makes the catch at about the 10-yard line. Iron Man, 2-way player, Kerry Reed, 6th-year out of Michigan State.
Tough route to cover. It's a deep bow, squirrel, arrow, whatever you want to call it, but he gets in the middle, acts like he's going to break to the post and slams on the brakes and comes back out of it. Good execution, throw and catch.
Davila so far, 3 touchdowns all to Rod Windsor. On 3rd down, lots of time, fires, end zone, touchdown. Windsor again.
Arizona touchdown.
For a 4th time in this first half, Rod Windsor just doesn't drop any ball near him, Sid.
Not even the ones he's got to go out for, but the placement again. Just talked about this route. It's a deep arrow route. He's going to get inside, get into his man, and break out. But look at the hands that ball goes through. And Windsor, I mean, this guy is something special. Missed 2 games last year. And still just 2nd team, but had 139 catches, 1,700 yards, and missed 2 games. I mean, this guy, all he does is play.
All he does is score touchdowns.
That's why I call him the professional. He is just that. He gets into his man and says, boy, this is big boy football right here.
What a catch. Well said last year, Rod Windsor, 1,754 receiving yards, 39 touchdowns. That was a good season. He's off to a great start tonight, already 4 first-half touchdown catches.
It is, and it just shows you how long, when you play with a quarterback for a long time, you guys kind of get a feel for how the movements of his body tell you where he's going, and they've got it going on right now. This is just a dynamic throw and catch right there. That's on a different level. These 2 guys are special together.
Zendejas to kick. McMillan deep to receive. Deep in the end zone. Breaks a tackle. DeAdder stops him and slings him down inside the 5. Taylor joined by the Arizona hero of the moment, Rod Windsor.
All right, I asked Rod if he was even tired yet. He said, I'm just now starting to sweat. They're barely guarding you out there. What's making you so effective?
You know, they're trying to let things fill us out. They're trying to see what we're going to come out with, and they're giving us everything underneath, and they're making it easier for us right now.
And it seems like you and Nick Davila just have such a good chemistry out there. How are you guys able to read each other's moves?
You know, we've been playing together for like the last 5 years, so he could throw to me in his sleep, man. He throw, he know where I'm going to be at, and he just put it up.
All right, we got another touchdown coming from you in the next half?
Oh, no, it's a team game, you know. Whoever open, you know, I'm just open right now.
All right, keep it going. Back to you guys.
Gilson Taylor on the catch along the barrier at about the 10. And you know Rod very well. He looks pretty relaxed right now.
He's always relaxed. That's why I call him the professional. He doesn't get very excited unless they're not playing well. And it's not an excited as being disappointed. He just wants to play well. He goes about his business and does his job and does a great job doing it. When you've got that feeling with a quarterback, it's something special, man. There's nothing like it. Talking about throwing in your sleep to a guy, those kind of feelings only come every so often.
2nd down, Heat again, high delivery Laerla, and it's incomplete. Southwick got hammered. More on Windsor, league of his own. 2nd team All-Arena last year. We told you about the big numbers, leading the Rattlers in all categories. 2010 AFL Rookie of the Year. He's had a brilliant career.
Rookie of the Year with 193 receptions, 2,300 yards. That is ridiculous what he was able to do. He and Nick's first year in Arizona together, and it's just continued since. Had a couple stops in the NFL, but this game has embraced him, and he's done it right back.
On 3rd down, Gilson to catch. 1st down for the steal. Much needed, got to midfield.
If you're Portland, this group is still getting to know each other. They got to continue to work. You see the short storm route. Gilson gets it in his hands, reverses field, picks up a couple blocks, and is able to get a nice gain and move the sticks. Everything positive for this team builds, and it continues to get better if you can just have positive plays in succession.
Plenty of time for a comeback. That's the good news. Pressure Southwick, gets rid of it. Feel the heat again.
And they try to throw a tight end screen right here.
Tyson all over him.
And Damian Burrell says, no thank you. What's a tight end? Damian Burrell's holding up the tight end, Jerry Moreland. That's where he wants to go. The fullback was taken away. He released to the field. He was no good. But Burrell, having that good sense, I talked about that earlier, understanding when you're playing the defensive edge, you got to know where your guys are and who's available to go out and catch passes.
There is a flag down.
Intentional grounding, number 13 offense. Loss of down, spot pass.
That's a tough call because they're setting up a screen to the offensive lineman. He couldn't get off of the defensive line. That's a tough call right there because there's nowhere to put it. I would say worst case scenario, throw it at his feet. This is a guy that's supposed to be going out on a route, and he's not supposed to go inside. He just turns inside. That to me looks like area. I understand the call, but that looks like area to me. He's trying to get out, but he can't get out. He just throws it too far out to the wall. There's nobody out there, so I understand the call.
1 minute timing rules are now in effect.
1 minute timing rules now in effect here at the end of the first half. No running clock, and receivers can get themselves up, putting the ball over the barrier to stop the clock, keep a drive going. Steele open for some late first half magic. Willamette River, beautiful look here in Portland tonight. 39-21 game, 1 minute warning. End of our first half coming up on the Arena Football Halftime Show from the Moda Center of the 2016 Old Faces in New Places. So first half stats and highlights all coming up at halftime. Most of the highlights belong to the visitors from the Valley of the Sun right now. Rod Windsor has been unstoppable for Arizona.
This team, and Coach Guy talked with us. We've spent plenty of time talking with him yesterday and this morning, but he feels like this is as focused as his team has been in years.
Something to prove after last year's disappointment. Burrell off the edge, ball loose on the turf. Who's got it? Arizona still looking, still waiting for a whistle, an indication. It's down at about the half-yard line. The heat was on Southwick from the beginning of that play, just blown up. Demetrio Tyson was involved, and Burrell again, who's been everywhere in this first half defensively for the Rattlers.
I'll tell you what, this is a group of young guys with some power in the middle. Tyson, they love him. Burrell's been awesome off the edge. You see the swipe and the strip right there, but again, you have to have a clock in your head of timing and where it's at. I don't know. I think they're calling down by contact.
He's down
right
about
there,
the half-yard line.
But the ball was moving the entire time.
He had possession. That's what the officials were saying. So Burrell not only stripped the ball initially, but also gets the fumble recovery. First and goal. Benson. Touchdown, Arizona. And the roll continues for the Rattlers on opening night 2016.
See, just a straight off guard handoff.
The clock was running there, said, so the officials will correct that inside a minute. 38.6 says Dave Kataya. Zendejas on for the PAT. Defense creates offense.
It really does.
Thank you.
Here's Zendejas. Uncles Max, Tony, Luis, and Alan all kicked either at Arizona or Arizona State, all kicked in the NFL. And his dad, Alex, kicked in Scottsdale Community College in your former neck of the woods in the Phoenix area. What a family. That's a better PAT.
His uncle was my kicker on our '94 championship team.
What?
Luis.
Tradition.
But watch the pressure. You've got to have your head on. This is the guy you want to keep your eye on. He has been dominating this first half off the edge. Look at the good use of the hands and the power, the strip right there. But takes the QB down and still, he's hungry. He wants that touchdown. He nearly gets it. They call him down by contact right there. That's just a hustle play by Damian Burrell. And he has made his presence felt for the Arizona Rattlers. These guys were already loaded up front, and they just reloaded with some young, fresh talent This guy can make plays right here.
Ex-San Jose SaberCat. Played his college ball at Butte Community College. Talk about a great pickup for Kevin Guy.
You look at both of the edge guys that they picked up. They love Demetrio Tyson as well, but the two young guys they got from San Jose, and Luis Vasquez, and Burrell, these two guys are both two of the better defensive ends in this league. And for Arizona to pick those guys up to go with Tyree Glassmer and Antaj Hawthorne. Woo!
Watch out. Opposing offenses in the NFL this year. Zenejas kicks. McMillan off the net. Fields it cleanly. No room. Smith makes the play along with Brown. Tomorrow night, ESPN2 and watch ESPN at 9 Eastern. The Sharks face the LA Kiss in Anaheim. JB Long. My guy Seth Bonner. Tino Cervasio will call the action. So you're out early tomorrow. Head to SoCal for a big game tomorrow night.
Should be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to it. Get to see a loaded Jacksonville Sharks team who played great in that championship game until they start losing receivers. They're looking to rebound and start this year off right. But LA, under new head coach Omar Smith, coming down from San Jose, all that guy has done in this league is win. He'll find a way to turn that LA Kiss team around. I'm looking forward to that one.
I'll be watching from Florida, buddy. Might check out Syracuse too in the Final Four, just maybe. Southwick passing on first down, end of the half here. Colt Lyerla can't bring it in. Reed on coverage, almost tipped that to teammate Smith.
Got to have your head on a swivel when you're running routes, any timing routes. Your head's got to turn before your body does, and get your eyes on the football. He's unable to get around and make the catch. And right now, you've got to be careful. Down in this area of the field, Arizona's brought the horses and the dogs, and you can't hold on to the football down here and give any more points away.
Second down, Gilson, stopped by Smith, outside the 5.
To number 5, Tom Gilson.
You may see Arizona come out of that man-to-man and maybe play a little bit of cloud where your field corner sits there, because the only route they've had success on when they've gotten in trouble, they've gone to the short storm route, where you have a go on the outside and the inside man runs a 5-yard out. Look for Arizona possibly the second half to sit on that route.
2 timeouts left for the Steel. On first down, high pass. Brown tipped it into the stands. A souvenir. Gilson, intended receiver. Keith Brown has a pick 6 already tonight. 4th-year man from Arizona State.
Try to run the bench route, and there's just not enough depth. That route has to be run at about 15, 16 yards in order to get it over the Jack linebacker, especially when you're talking about Kerry Reed, 6'2", with really long arms and great leaping ability. You've got to push your depth, gain some space for your QB to throw that ball.
Keith Brown's Arena Bowl 25 defensive MVP. Playing well tonight on 4th down. Southwick passing on the catch made at midfield.
To number 6,
Jared Perry had that long touchdown grab early in this first half. The money down catch at the 25.
This is the Jen route. Nice job of hanging tough in there by Southwick, who takes another shot from Burrell. But the Jen route, where you run your inside receiver on the in route across the field, very tough to stop. Good job of execution. And Southwick hung in there tough on that one, stared down the gun barrel and let it go.
He's taking some pops tonight, Sam, this game. Felt the heat, coughed it up a couple times. He has been harassed all night by the Rattler defensive front, to the tune of 2 fumble recoveries, the pick, and defensive touchdowns as well.
I mean, this mix of talent they have up front is ridiculous and very versatile. All 3 of those guys, when you talk about Vasquez, Burrell, and Demetrio Tyson, all those guys can play any one of those positions along the front, as well as go back to play a little bit of MAC as well. Very versatile group.
Off the timeout.
Speaking of which, you got Demetrio Tyson at the MAC spot right now.
On first down, Southwick off his back foot, deep ball. Gilson intended receiver. And Bubba Chapman on coverage closest to it, incomplete. Inside a minute. Clock stops. Incomplete passes. One timeout left. Plenty of time to get a score on the board here for the Steel.
You've got to try to get some points up here. It's huge. It'll be crucial just for confidence going into the locker room. But right now, this receiving core is a little gassed. They're down a guy. There's only 3 of them out there. They're chasing points.
Truesdale had that ankle sprain when he scored his touchdown. Gilson, good catch with a flag down on the slant inside the 10 to about the 8. Let's check out the marker.
It's going to be holding. Their hands to the face. He's
Personal foul, offense, hands to the 54.
10 yards penalty, 7 yards.
Jerry and Moreland, who played for the Storm last year. Second-year man from Southern Illinois, guilty party.
right here. He's matched up against Burrell, and you see the hands in the face right there, and he never gets it out of there. I mean, it's still in there. It almost looked like it got stuck. But you still got to make that call. I know it's tough. The fans are booing, but still got to make that call.
Been a very tough opening half for brand new head coach Ron James, who calls a timeout here. 2012 AFL Coach of the Year with Utah. The 19 years of AFL experience. He knows the game very well. Knows about comebacks. What's he dialing up right here with 5.1 to go in the half?
Anything that's not going to result in a turnover. You've got to try to get plays or a touchdown. You might want to run a couple clearing routes with an in route coming from the backside. You get a look at Ron's history and his coaching profile. He's done a nice job. He coached Tommy Grady in 2012 when he was the league MVP, and they did an outstanding job in the playoffs, losing in the semis that year. But he's been around. He's seen a lot, done a lot. And listen, this team was thrown together last minute, so to speak. Everything. Brand new. So right now, they're still trying to learn. And I think he'll get it going. He's a positive guy. He's got a renewed sense of energy getting this job. And I think he'll get these guys motivated, and they'll improve as the season goes along. But it's going to take a little bit of time to get all this cohesion going with this team.
Big play, end of the half. Southwick, some time, fires, carry the catch, and that is it for the opening half. Put down by Brown. What can Brown do for you? Well, got a pick six, throw a couple pass, and the tackle there on Jared Perry to end the first half. Dominant performance by Arizona, up 46-21, halfway home.
Turnovers or something you got to stop in the second half.
One led to an offensive touchdown. Windsor, 4 touchdown catches. Taylor on the field.
That's right. Rod has 4 touchdown catches so far. Big half from Windsor. What's been the key on offense?
Well, we've just been efficient. We're taking advantage of matchup. So Rod's done, the matchup was with Rod right now. We'll see how they'll adjust the second half, and then we'll adjust.
Now, you overpowered them on both sides of the ball for most of the first half, but you gave up a couple big plays. How do you make sure your guys don't take the foot off the gas?
Well, we've been pressuring them on defense. We've been pressuring them up front. We've been pressuring them in the back. I've been pretty pleased where we played defensively. Special teams-wise, we've missed 3 extra points. The first one was blocked. The second one, our operations was too slow. Third one, we rolled the snout back there. It's just too much. So we'll go in and we'll clean that up. We'll have a better second half.
All right, got into the locker room. Back to you guys.
Taylor with Arizona Rattlers head coach and GM Kevin Guy. He told us today, team ready for a big season. They've delivered through the first half of the opener. End of the first half, 46-21 Rattlers. You're watching the Arena Football League on CBS Sports Network.
In the first half, because of the pressure, when he's had time to throw the ball, he's done a nice job and put it in good spots. He's got to find a way to get that rhythm back without giving the ball away anymore. You can't have any more turnovers.
17-30 for Southwick, 221 yards, 3 touchdowns, and the pick 6 to Arkeith Brown. First half numbers, what do you see here?
I see a domination yardage-wise. I mean, Arizona is just pretty much being patient offensively, getting big chunks. Rod Windsor and Nick Davila's chemistry is ridiculous right now. These guys look like they've been playing since birth together. It's only been 5 years, but I mean, they just understand what they're doing together, have a great sense and awareness of where they're going to be together and each play. It's awesome to watch. When you see a tandem like that, that's able to work together like that, it's awesome.
Very comfortable with one another, to say the least. Nick Davila and his coach are ready. 38 touchdowns, including 4 tonight in season openers for Nick Davila. Played his college ball at Cincinnati. Rattlers have never lost to the Steel. Franchise history, 7-0 all time. 6-0 in the regular season. Want to stay perfect. Washington with a short kick. Watch the bar, it's live. And then hits the barrier and out of bounds for a touchback. Young fan reached in, might have still been live, but not anymore. It's a touchback to the 5.
And he gets a souvenir to take home.
He does. He wants to make sure he's not in trouble. Yeah, that might have still been in play. It was touched by a fan initially, so.
It was, but it bounced back up. I mean, it's hard.
It's okay.
It's human nature, man. It's arena football.
He's a young fan. He's here to have fun.
Right. It's human nature.
Now the officials will confer on exactly what the call should be. Let's see.
Ball exited the field to play outside the net. By rule, that ball is placed on the 20-yard line. First down.
Wow, it's outside the net. It was touched by the fan. As we saw in the replay, out to the 20-yard line. What a great break that is for Arizona. Went outside the bar, as you can see.
Well, it hit the iron first. It hits the iron.
That's right. That's in play.
That's in play.
That is in play. That's what I saw at first. All right, first down, Davila. Ball tipped in, incomplete near the 15. Pila made the play defensively. Bryce Pila, fourth-year man from Western Oregon.
This is a great push. Great push by the Steel front 4 on that play. In Davila's lap, Pila almost made that play. I mean, that would have been huge for the Steel. But Cisse got great push in the middle. These guys came off the ball.
Second down, Davila pressure, stumbles ahead. Tries to get back to the original line of scrimmage. Brandon Cisse all over him.
Absolutely, Brandon Cisse getting after it. Well, I'm tired of you guys talking about Burrell and those other cats. I'm out here doing work too. But you're going to see the good move inside to the right side of the field. Hayes comes through on the other side, or excuse me, that's Bryson Kelly, number 36. We've got a few interchangeable parts as well. Kelly goes to the max spot. Hayes goes down and puts his hand down.
Dieter sprints in motion. Washington the drop near midfield.
As good as he's been through training camp, Mike Washington's having a rough opening night. He's misplayed several balls off the net, couple drops during the game, dropped a touchdown early in the game. He's just got to pick it up. This guy is a devastating talent with his speed, but he's got to get it going.
15 touchdown catches for the Shock last year. Former star in Hawaii helped June Jones and the Rainbow Warriors to the Sugar Bowl back in '07. So here's fourth down. Davila feels the heat, down he goes. He got absolutely crushed off the edge. What a play defensively for Dexter Davis Jr. The D helmet stick.
I mean, that's a speed rush around the outside. Simons gets beat around the edge. And you talk about the speed with Dexter Davis, 6'2", 235, 240, but has great rip ability with his hands, is extremely strong. He gets the edge. You do not see that happen to Davila very often.
The game can turn very quickly in the Arena Football League. Now some momentum for the Steel. Danny Southwick and the offense struggled. Did have 3 touchdown passes, but the pick 6 in that first half. One of 2 defensive touchdowns for Arizona. But this is the second half and a new start. Look at the play off the edge. Dexter Davis Jr., a big hit. Arizona up 25 beginning the second half. Portland, though, at the 12-yard line of the Rattlers. Taylor keeping an eye on injured Nick Truesdale. What's happening on the Steel bench?
Yeah, the offense just got a little bit thinner for the Steel. Truesdale said he is going to be out for the rest of the game. It's a little hard for him to put weight on his right ankle, but he said in the locker room he gathered all the wide receivers, said to tell them to keep fighting, said that they need to stay in the game. There's a lot of football left. He even said they overcame adversity throughout the entire offseason. They can do it in this matchup.
Taylor, thanks. Said caught it on that touchdown by Truesdale to begin the game. Rolled that right ankle. Ooh, that looked pretty painful.
That was a bad one. That was a bad one. And as anybody that's ever sprained an ankle knows, it's almost as bad as breaking one. Takes so long to heal, especially for a wide receiver that has to cut and plant. Very tough.
So the new look, Steel offense, down a man. Southwick on first down, feels some pressure and throws it into the crowd. That's a souvenir.
Good decision. And look who's back there again. Old number 32. Burrell is playing like a man on fire tonight. Several pressures. He is on a mission.
He's had a great game.
On a mission.
He's got to know Danny Southwick pretty well. The Steel offense has entered the Geico blue zone. Second down. Chance for momentum swing. Offense not in sync, penalty. Cost him 5.
I feel like the one thing Danny's got to work on is really getting away from center a little quicker. If you watch the Rattlers in this league, the guys that have been playing it, the guys that do it on a daily basis, the Davilas, they're away from the center before anything's going. They're out of there, and he kind of takes a gather step before he goes. And I tell you what, when you get behind the rush, it makes it really tough for you to do anything. And you're talking about that first level that he's trying to get away from. It takes him a while to get moving.
Second out, off a false start. Southwick fires. Brown, a piece of it flagged down. Markeith Brown and Gilson going head-to-head there. Let's check out the marker.
Illegal contact. Contact more than 5 yards downfield. Number 11 in the defense. That's a 5-yard penalty and also automatic first down.
Automatic first down. Legal contact there from Markeith Brown. Good break for the Steel.
That's a tough call because your receiver's running into your area and trying to get away from you. But there is contact. You got to let him play.
So it's first down. Catch on the barrier. Jared Perry. Top returning receiver for the Steel. 100 catches, 29 touchdowns last year, almost 93 yards a game. So many new faces, including the new head coach here in Portland. Ron James, hired, as we talked about, the very end of January. Was at the Senior Bowl, he told us, when he got the call that he had the job. He was very excited to take over, wanted to play the next day. On second down. Pressure again from behind, from in front. Look out, Southwick down he goes in a heap. Just too many white jerseys. Vasquez leads the charge again.
There's no separation on the receiver. I mean, that's great coverage by the secondary of the Rattlers. But once again, there has to be a clock. You got to know it's closing in. Good job of not turning it over. And this time, Lou Vasquez is able to get there and bring him down. But look at Antaj Hawthorne. He's got all these young bucks around him. And his motor even looks like it's been jump-started this season.
Been with Kevin Guy all 9 years. And Taj Hawthorne effective again. Third down. Gilson the catch. Smacked into the barrier. At about the 11-yard line.
They've run the short storm. I'm not sure if they have a storm post off of it or an outpost. I'm not sure if they have enough time to run that with the way the pressure's bearing down, but they've thrown that ball. The DBs have gotten closer and closer. You got to do something off of that play, and you might get a wide open gimme.
As great as Rod Windsor has been, 4 touchdown catches already in this game, the defensive front and the pressure on Southwick has been a major headline in this game tonight. He just does not have enough time. 4th down, big play. Steele needs it. Southwick, end zone, and broken up. Gilson, intended receiver, Arkeith Brown, makes the play defensively at the goal line and breaks it up. Rattlers will get it back. Defense, the name of the game tonight. These Rattlers on the road, making big plays on D all night long. Rattlers up big on the steal. Second half underway from Portland. On March 16th in Washington, D.C., Philadelphia Soul majority owner Ron Jaworski, along with L.A. Kiss co-owner Gene Simmons. Welcoming in Ted Leontis as a new owner of the yet-to-be-named Washington, D.C. Arena Football League franchise. The Washington team will begin play in 2017. Said what a great sign for this fantastic league.
Growth is always good, and when it's good growth, we talk about the owners having stake in arenas and in the professional teams, the Capitals. It's going to be awesome for the league.
Windsor on a quick pitch and a big pickup for the Rattlers offensively.
And that's something that the Rattlers do as well as anyone. The Rattlers, the Philadelphia Soul, the top-tier teams have a screen game to go with everything else. That's how you maintain that. You keep that pass rush off you. What did you see last possession? The Steel got great on defense. They played tough. They got a sack. They shut down the Rattlers on 4th down, all by a pass rush. But you come out here, you run some quick games, some screen game to slow those guys down.
1st down, screen set up again. Benson's got it. The big guy rumbling, rambling, end zone, touchdown Arizona. Michael Benson, 275 pounds of power, into the end zone for the Rattlers.
Right on cue, screen game, screen game. You get a defensive line feeling great about themselves. Look at them all upfield. Everybody's gone. And look at that second level. Simons is out in front. And listen, Benson at 275 pounds is fleet of foot and extremely strong. And I didn't see any DBs trying to get in front of that because I know I wouldn't have gotten in front of that.
Trying to tackle Michael Benson would not be fun, to say the least. Zadejas. About the only downside of the Rattler game so far has been the 3 missed PATs, but Kevin Guy said to his team at halftime, everything buttoned up with the PAT. It's good there. Screen, good for a touchdown.
Great play. You see Nick in the drop. His eyes were left the whole time, and as he felt the defense coming in close, he turns and drops it off with a nice touch pass. Well-designed play, and good job blocking out front by the rest of that offense.
2 touchdowns out for Benson, 1 on the ground, end of the 1st half, and the screen pass TD from Davila here in the 2nd half. And Arizona with a chance there, said, for Portland to get the momentum back deep in Rattler territory, immediately strike back.
And good defenses they bend quite a bit at times, but they don't break. Rattler's able to keep Portland out of there. And at that point, if you're Portland, you got to come with your best stuff because you're that close, as you talked about, to getting back in the game. Somehow you got to find a way to get points on the board. When you get a stop against a team and play tough like that, you got to put something on the board.
Zadejas kicks. McMillan through traffic. Face mask coming. Gary Reed involved in the tackle on special teams for Arizona. Back down to Taylor.
Actually, guys, before Nick Davila was here in the AFL, he had some great moments at Cincinnati under Mark D'Antonio. Most memorably in 2006, as a senior, he got his first start ever and led the team to one of the biggest upsets in school history over 7th-ranked Rutgers. It ended their perfect season. Cincy fans still remember an emotional and a happy Davila after that win. And he has even more things to be happy about now. His wife is pregnant. He's expecting another baby boy.
Isn't that something, Taylor? We had a chance to meet Nick at the team hotel last night. He was beaming, said, when he gave you the news about the baby boy on the way.
He's excited, another boy. He's excited. Tell you what, man, this guy is arguably, to me, one of the best to ever play the game, if not the best. The numbers he's put up in this short of time have been outstanding, and he is probably one of the most committed players I have ever seen to this game. Like, he is committed to this game and a true professional.
Almost 29,000 career yards, tops active in the AFL to begin the 2016 season. Southwick, the deep ball, trying there for Perry. Had a touchdown connection in the first half, but this time Jared Perry can't catch up with that.
Well, Bubba
deep
Chapman,
pass, good coverage, Chapman.
Bubba Chapman learned his lesson. He went to flight school, and if you're going to get in trouble, you got to stay high. He stayed deep and high, didn't allow the receiver to get up on his toes. And Southwick anticipating, and he's lucky that one wasn't intercepted.
Here's third down. There's the pressure again. Down he goes one more time. It's just been a story all night. Demetrio Tyson from Jacksonville State.
Tell you, they really like this young guy. 6'2", 270 pounds, lots of power. You see the arm over. I mean, he takes John Collins to school with the arm over with power. Watch how fast it happens. And he is in the line. I mean, that's no chance there for Southwick. I don't care who you are playing quarterback. You got no shot there.
It's been the story just about every time he drops back to pass. Someone in a white jersey is in his face. 4th and long. Gilson makes the catch, but he's well shy of the first down. Got to the 13, needed the 18. That's going to go right back to Arizona here. Already up 53-21. And Nick Davila and the offense is clicking. Head to head with Danny Southwick. It's all Nick Davila and the Rattlers tonight. .656 career touchdown passes now for Nick Davila. In season openers, 39 career TD strikes, 5 tonight. Sad about your preseason awards.
Well, this is, you know, what I had to just come up off top. Nick's making me look like a champ right now. He's doing a great job. You know, coming off last year, missing 4 games, I thought he had something to prove, and he felt that way coming in. He's ready to go. Greg Reed, 70 tackles, 21 PBUs. A year ago, defensive or the rookie of the year. LA Kiss will be the most improved team this year, and I have Jacksonville right now as Arena Bowl champs. Right now. So I don't want to get any tweets. I don't want to get.
Oh, you're going to get some tweets, all right, from fans of the other 7 teams.
I know Philly's good. Arizona's looking great right now. Orlando looks great. Everybody looks great. This is sight unseen. While I was sitting around on my couch, I just had to come up with something.
So why the Sharks this year?
I just felt they were so close last year, and for the way they struggled early on in the season, and were able to come back and finish the season strong and get all the way to the title game. Most pieces are back. I feel they have a little bit of an edge.
Second down, Davila. Sideline route. Reed's got it. Dragged down inside the 5-yard line. Tim Shelley, the second, makes the play for the steal. Rattlers offense has entered the Geico Blue Zone.
This is where having a good combination of quarterbacks and receivers that understand body movements and angles. And you got Michael Benson to run the ball. and a coach that's not afraid to use his bigs in the pass game. You got a lot to worry about if you're a defense.
First and goal. Washington. Little jet sweep. Dives toward that green stripe. That's the goal line. But shy.
Tell you what, this guy with his speed, it changes things quite a bit, because you got somebody now in the Rattler uniform that can take the top end off of the defenses. But a great job of knifing inside by Pila. Break that play and blow it up. He's responsible for the edge over there. He gets out there and knocks it down. That's a great job by Pila.
Second to goal. Davila end zone read. Incomplete. Fan makes the catch there as a souvenir. That's why it's so great to sit in the first couple rows at an Arena Football League game.
It's great if you're not going to sit down there and try to have conversation. If you're going to pay attention, it's awesome. If not, you're going to get hit in the face with a ball. Again, the Portland fan looking it in, using hands.
Pretty good form.
Good form.
The louder you are, the less they can hear. Make some noise.
Jet sweep, pass play. Maybe it's Benson time here.
Benson time or Simons on the tight end release.
Benson. Not this time with a flag down. Robert Hayes, second-year man from Shepherd College, the MAC backer, dragged down Michael Benson from behind.
Illegal defense, number 20. Lined up directly behind the line. That's a half the distance to the goal. Automatic first down.
Wow, an automatic first down to make it first and goal. Half the distance. Pila, guilty party.
He has to have shade. He lines up. He stacks the linemen. But what happens is, right before the snap, the defensive end closes his split down inside, and that's why the call was made.
First and goal. Touchdown. Davila keeps. It's another score for the Rattlers, and they continue their roll on the road here tonight.
Very businesslike for this team, and not a lot of celebration going on from anybody. This is a team that's extremely focused.
I would imagine Arizona fans like to see that because they're serious about Arena Bowl championship this year. Zendejas got things buttoned up on the PAT unit after a very rough start. But the night belongs to Nick Davila and Arizona. Wow.
Wow is it. Rattlers crushing.
Join us here on CBS Sports Network tomorrow, 11 Eastern. College lacrosse action. The nation's top team, #1 ranked Denver. The Pioneers take on Georgetown from our nation's capital. Big East lacrosse, only the 24-hour home of CBS Sports. Denver 7-1. They have never lost a Big East Conference game. And do you know the only college lacrosse program to win a national championship, said Bonner, not touching the Atlantic Ocean? What state? You live there.
Denver, Colorado. Coach Bill Turney.
The Pios did it last year, won the first ever national championship. Bill Tierney. Wow, legend.
That sport is sweeping Colorado. I
bet
tell
it
you
is.
right now, we're losing tons of football kids to play a great game of lacrosse.
7 national championships for Bill Tierney, the Hall of Famer. McMillan stopped by DeAtter there on special team for Arizona.
Going back to that, talk about how big was DU thinking when they went to get him to start the program. How big were they thinking?
That was great anticipation from administration there. Someone had the right idea, because it wasn't easy to get Bill Tierney to go and leave Princeton, where he won 6 national championships.
Might have been a couple zeros.
Maybe. They're a powerhouse now.
Yes,
no one can beat them. Final moments of the third. A rough one. Southwick. Deep ball. Perry wants a flag. There's the penalty flag. Jared Perry hoping for one on Bubba Chapman.
We have pass interference, double move.
Illegal contact defense. Number 24, 5-yard penalty, first down. The quarter is ended.
End of the quarter. It'll be first down off the penalty against Bubba Chapman of Arizona, but his Rattlers in great shape. Big story through 3 quarters. Rod Windsor, 4 touchdown catches from Nick Davila, who scored at the very end of the third to make it a 60-21 Arizona lead. Dave Ryan, Hall of Famer, said, Bonner, Taylor Rooks with you, field level. Mighty struggle for the Steel in the season opener.
Man, this is just a tough matchup for this team. Just not knowing each other. They've got to just try and continue to get a little bit better each play.
Bull rush, pressure, ball deflected. Reed's got the pick. Kerry Reed the interception. Turns the corner into the end zone. Pick 6. Touchdown. Flag flies after the play.
We're going to get Hawthorne.
Pass intercepted. Number 15, Kerry Reed.
But Hawthorne is the one that sets this up at the very beginning. Watch the get off on the football. We talked about Southwick not getting enough separation away from center quick enough. But watch the get off by number 77.
Number 77 offense. That penalty will be enforced in the first series after the kickoff.
Watch the get off by Hawthorne. It is outstanding. Watch the get off right here. He is out of his stance and into the center Collins before the ball is snapped. And there you see he gets his hand on it, it's deflected. And Kerry Reed knows what to do with it after that. Second defensive touchdown for the Rattlers. But look at the get off. He's into the center, maybe a little offsides, but hey, if you're not cheating a little bit, you ain't trying hard enough. Kerry Reed's able to gobble it in and take it to the house. You got to have a feel for danger and for things in your lap in the pocket. And the more you play, if you're Danny Southwick, the more those things become natural for you.
2 pick sixes. Marquise Brown had one in the first half. Kerry Reed now in the second. The fumble recovery as well by Damian Burrell. So 3 defensive touchdowns for the Rattlers. It's all clicking for Arizona right now. The 5-time Arena Bowl champs making a major statement on opening night 2016. This has not been close.
No. They had a chance after they stopped Arizona on 4th down, but Arizona returned the favor. It's just been tough sledding.
Jared Perry will go deep to replace McMillan here. And play it off the nets. Short kick. Perry from the end zone. Runs into trouble, shy of the 10. Talked about the great tradition set of your former team. 24th season, already 5 titles. Now it's only week 1, and Portland's just putting a new roster, new team together. They're off to a great start toward a 6th.
Well, the things that kept this program great at both times, even when I played and now, is a collection of leaders that stuck around. You've got Nick Davila, you've got Rod Windsor, Tyree Glasper, Antaj Hawthorne. You've got guys that have been around and that can keep the locker room, and that's the same thing we had. It's the same thing Philadelphia has built in their program right now. Same thing that teams want to have. You want to have guys that stick around, and Arizona's had a great nucleus for a lot of years.
99 looked like he's hurt.
Been a rough night for the Steel all the way around. Robert Hayes shaken up.
The mighty Thor.
You might predict that Casey Peters comes in, takes over at QB here for the Steel. And on first down, feel a little heat. High delivery there to Perry, incomplete. Brown on coverage. That's a souvenir, a scramble up there.
There's a little 77 on 77 crime going on right now because Antaj Hawthorne is getting in the backfield repeatedly and making it extremely tough for Rico Forbes.
It doesn't matter if it's Southwick or Peters.
Or excuse me,
it's
Kevin
heat.
Myers.
It's heat on the Steel QBs. Second down. Peters, guess what? Pressure, and down he goes.
That's a blown assignment.
Sandwiched.
That's a blown assignment.
Hawthorne finished him off. Damian Burrell, half of that sack for Arizona.
And this is just a blown assignment. They don't get off, but you're going to go inside and loop around this way. The center's got to pass him back off and come off and stay at home. But he turns a free rusher loose, the linebacker, thinking they were in man-to-man. So communication, not what it needs to be on that play.
Casey Peters, second-year man from Rocky Mountain College, played with Las Vegas last year. Third down, he'll throw. And behind Gilson, the receiver, out of that break. Timing was not good there. Bubba Chapman on coverage.
I feel for Casey Peters. You're excited. You're in the game. Heat's been on you since you stepped on the floor. I mean, it's tough. It's tough to calm yourself and do your job. But right now, he's auditioning to possibly get a chance. So he's got to somehow relax himself and just try and make plays.
Ron James told us today Peters had the best progress of anyone in preseason camp. Come a long way. Chance here tonight. Fourth down. Of course, feeling the heat. Gilson, deep ball. Gathers. Touchdown, Portland. Great catch. Head-to-head with Chapman for Tom Gilson.
Chapman has this play covered. He has it covered, and Gilson runs right back to him on the corner. And I believe Chapman can't believe Peters is throwing this football right over the top of his head. The post is wide open. Gilson comes back out to the corner and right over the top of Bubba Chapman, who's not able to finish the play. That's a good job of concentration at the top of that by Tom Gilson.
Been a long time since Ernesto Laquea was out for a PAT. On fourth down, the conversion. You want access to every AFL game at once? Then go to arenafootball.com, click AFL Live for online broadcast of games around the league. Opening night 2016. Philadelphia, Orlando, and now Arizona. Impressive in their first game. Tomorrow night on ESPN2, watch ESPN at 9 Eastern. Jacksonville Sharks take on LA in Anaheim. From the Honda Center, JB Long, said Bonner will travel to SoCal. Tina Cervasio on the call tomorrow night. Who wins that one? Give me a call.
Nice try.
Come on.
Nice try.
All right, keys to the game. Give me something.
Turnovers, obviously, and possessions. You got to put points on the board.
Washington off the net. Cut down outside of 5.
What's been the difference in this game?
Turnovers. Defensive pressure on the quarterback.
But turnovers. This is arena football. There's going to be pressure. You got to find a way to execute without succumbing to the pressure, without giving the ball away. As you get a look at Shane Boyd, got a chance last year to watch him beat a Spokane team in Spokane, which was one of the toughest places to play. 7 touchdown passes in that game. His first start as a Rattler, got the win on the road, so there's a lot of trust between Kevin Guy and Shane Boyd.
First down, deep ball. Windsor trying to catch up with that streak route down the sideline. And Washington running 10, incomplete.
That is unusual. That's not what you see from the Rattler offense. You should never have 2 guys in the same area running down the field. And there you see Windsor and Mike Washington in the same area. And since Windsor's been in the offense for 6 years, That nod has to go to Mike Washington.
Probably Mike Washington's man, right? Former star Hawaii.
He's a star in this league as well, make no mistake.
Boyd over the middle. The Adder can't bring it in.
That's a good throw, and it's a good whip route in the middle of the field. Great route. That's what my coach used to say, $1 million route and a 2-cent catch. And right off his face mask, but you go from a lefty spin to a righty spin. Shane has a real strong arm. Fortunately, that wasn't picked off.
Sergio Gilman. Gilliam, seventh-year man from Clemson, close to it there, but that was a drop by the Adder, no doubt. Third down. Here's Boyd. Not a lot of pressure. And Windsor dives and makes the grab for the first, close to midfield.
That's a great catch by Rod Windsor. Has to go down. And this ball kind of gets away from Shane a little bit. He gets a little overextended in his stride. Anytime you get elongated, and then like pitcher sort of stance, watch this long stride out. Ball's low, but look at the catch by Windsor. What does that guy do, man? That guy just does a great job, does his job every play.
Fantastic hands. Route runner, Benson, big guy on the screen. Cut down offensively, Bryce Pila. A really nice play in space.
Number 20, Bryce Pila.
Got to go low on the big guy, right? Don't tackle him high. Do not do that.
I mean, you're a fool to try to take him up high. That's a really good play by Pila. Giving up a ton of weight, making a play out in space.
Windsor 7 catches, 84 yards, 4 touchdowns. Washington sprints in motion on second down. Boyd for Washington. He's got a cannon for an arm.
He does. He does.
Big arm.
He does. But sometimes the cannon isn't what you want. Sometimes you want to drop it in the bucket with a little touch, especially with a guy that can run it down. It's got to be a frustrating night for Mike Washington, coming off an injury, coming back, working hard all offseason. They're going to get the win, but he's going to work extra hard this week to try to come out next week and have a bigger impact on the game.
Third down for Boyd. Lots of time. Washington closest to it there. Windsor was running the go route to the end zone, head-to-head with McMillan. It's incomplete. Fourth down coming up.
It's a little bit out of sync offensively.
He throws it a lot harder than Nick Dabble does.
He really does.
Close.
Nick can fire the ball. However, there's something that comes with having that change of pace when you need to have it. You don't have to fire every ball. In my opinion, when you throw the ball as hard as you can every play, to me that means you're late on the throw and you feel like you have to do that.
All right, fourth down. Steele trying to make some noise here. Ball strip. Loose ball. Who's got it? Steele takes over. They finally get to the quarterback.
Number 23,
Reggie Wilson makes the recovery.
I think it might have been our man Bryson Kelly. Played a little fullback and linebacker, but versatile guy. He's lined up at the max spot. He beats Jordan Mudge, and no, actually, it's Kelly off the edge. Or excuse me, Reggie Wilson off the edge on the backside, right there with the strip. And the recovery. Excellent job by Reggie Wilson.
Backup quarterbacks stay in. Peters lost it. Regains. Lots of pressure. Morel all over him. And that's called incomplete.
And intentional grounding.
If there's a flag, going to be a grounding call. Damian Brell's had himself a night.
Well, this play was done from the start. However,
Grounding offensive, number 64, the tight end, was in the area.
So no grounding, says Dave Kataya. Pick up the flag.
the ball was fumbled at the snap, and it just kind of runs out. And that's not the offensive, the tight end's fault. I mean, he doesn't know where the quarterback's running out with a loose ball. That's a tough one.
Jerry Moreland declaring as the tight end on that play with the Storm a year ago. Second-year man from Southern Illinois. So Casey Peters, second down. Flag flies. Gilson intended receiver, end zone. We've got whistles and flags. Chapman on coverage.
Again, the pressure's getting in there, but listen, you're a quarterback that can run the football effectively. There's a huge lane there to the left. Identify it and get out of there. Go get some yards and a positive play.
Third down.
5-yard penalty declined by the Rattlers. So Casey Peters, coaches tell us today, just amazing the progress in preseason camp. Very accurate with his throws. Getting a chance here in the fourth quarter. Might have lost the handle again there for a moment. Now Arkeith Brown closest to that pass, incomplete, looking for Jared Perry.
Number 6, Jared Perry.
Just want to take this time to tell John and Michelle Staples, who are avid arena football fans and Arizona Rattler fans. I've known them since 1998. They've come to every game road. They travel. The best fans in the league. Michelle, we love you and we're with you. We're praying for you guys, and we'll keep you in our prayers as she battles stage 4 ovarian cancer. We'll keep you in our prayers, and we love you, Michelle.
Well said. Fourth down pass incomplete.
Number 2, Colt Myers.
And Arizona will take over again. Up big tonight in Portland. Kevin Guy told us today he will never forget the conference championship game a year ago. Something really he'll never get over, said. Arizona, San Jose, Stockton, California. Rattlers 4-point lead, 9 seconds left. San Jose quarterback Eric Meyer found Darius Reynolds in the flat. Now here's the question. Did he fumble before the ball broke the plane of the goal line? It was called a touchdown on the field.
See the ball moving.
A good enough angle to overturn it. Zendas came on, tried to tie the game with the field goals way short and wide, and San Jose won by 3 en route to the Arena Bowl championship.
And I understand. I could recall 4 or 5 games in my career that I will never let go, that I have nightmares about. So
really?
Oh
man.
Kevin Guy will go down with that. He will never forget that game.
DeAtter on the barrier.
Chase getting out. That's the first time we've seen Chase DeAtter really get out and get loose. And this guy is, I mean, what a luxury to have the stable of receivers these guys have. And Chase basically being a 3rd or 4th type guy, but has good skill set, strong, big.
6-year man, Sacramento State. 2nd year as a Rattler. Little pitch to Washington. DeAtter helps with a block. So does Windsor. And Washington very close to another Arizona touchdown.
Ball carrier, number 7, Mike Washington.
Back-to-back screenplay. You see the burst from Mike Washington as he gets it. Watch a nice cut. Takes the football. Takes the punishment. This team will screen you to death if you want to get wild and out of control up front.
Rattlers in the Geico blue zone. Benson on the pitch. Benson end zone. Touchdown, Arizona.
Arizona's touchdown.
3 TDs in the game.
Question is, who didn't have 3 TDs?
It was a big opening night for the big guy.
But it was set up by defense and special teams, not allowing good field position for Portland all night. They've been solid in all 3 phases of the game. Well, minus the early problems in the kicking game.
Something Coach Guy will address in practice this week. He doesn't miss a detail. It's a live ball with a miss there with a flag. That wasn't even close. 9 feet wide, the uprights in the arena game.
Foul. Roughing the kicker. Number 11, defense. After this is goal, replay the try.
Zendejas and the Rattlers get another chance at it. Been that kind of night. Dexter Davis Jr. roughs. Zendejas will try again. Missed that one too. Wow. So something to work on. And special teams this week.
You might see some guys hanging around camp trying to kick.
Just maybe. Tossing out some t-shirts inside the Moda Center, so a little noise right now. Philadelphia hoping to make some noise against the Sharks in Jacksonville. Our next CBS Sports Network broadcast Monday, April 11th at 7 Eastern. Great start for the Soul tonight.
It really was. They got up to a good start a year ago, but Dan Rattlers, the reigning MVP of the league, he and Coach have a great relationship, Clint Dozell, and they'll be there at the end.
Had about 7 touchdown passes. The opening win tonight over Cleveland for Philadelphia. McMillan off the net. Live ball. Tackled just outside the goal line.
You know, it's apparent that Portland hasn't had a lot of chances and a lot of time in the arena on the nets, as you've seen so many balls hit the ground. When you don't get chances to take balls off the net and field the ball off the net, it's really tough, and it's hard to place that ball or to catch the ball off the net, especially for a guy that hasn't done it a ton.
There's a lot to work on for the Steel here, partner. A lot.
Absolutely, but there's some pieces. There's some pieces. They've just got to get better somehow, and you got to keep breeding that competition, because it creates a better player. When you bring guys in that compete, everyone gets a little bit better. You've got to create competition if you're Coach James in practice.
And keep in mind, tonight they're playing Arizona, one of the top teams in the Arena Football League. Not close there, Laerla. What a touchdown catch in the first half. Can't bring that in.
He's running a hitch route, and he stems inside. Not sure why he goes inside, but the ball's thrown outside where he's supposed to stay. Spacing is everything in this game, and Laerla will learn those little nuances as he goes along and gets better playing this game.
Second down. Perry can't catch up to that. Deep ball there from Casey Peters, who has the arm strength, little off on the accuracy there.
But that's the problem when you don't put touch on it and allow your guy to go run to it. If you throw a BB and a dart, you got to put it on target or your guy never gets it.
1 minute warning. Casey Peters, Steel open for some late offense of the game tonight. Last year in victories over Portland, Arizona averaged 66 points a game. Tonight, 73 on the board against the Steel in the season opener 2016. Talk about a great start for the visitors here. Casey Peters, second-year man, finishing up. Final minute. Scrambling, end zone, nearly picked off. Marcus Smith jumping in front of that one, incomplete. Back down to Taylor.
All right, I'm here with Nick Davila. 73 points on the board, some big plays. How would you evaluate your offense so far?
Well, you know, we did pretty good. We got stopped on the first series of the second drive or second half. So, you know, it's always good to learn while you're winning, but we got to get better. A couple drops, you know, misread by my part. You know, so it's never as good as it looks, and it's never as bad as it looks. So we're just going to take it one step at a time.
Now, earlier today, I talked to your coach, and he said that you are the hardest working quarterback that he has been around, said you're always trying to get better. Where does that work ethic come from for you?
Well, it just comes from my mom and dad and the way that they raised me. You know, and my uncles and just my whole family in general. Hard work and dedication pays the bills, and so I don't want to let any of my teammates down ever, so I want to put the best foot forward every time.
All right, now before Boyd went out there, I saw you coaching him up a little bit. You guys are throwing some balls back here. When you watch him out on the field, what are you watching for?
You know, I just try to watch what the defense doing and just try to give them second eyes on the bench over here and just try to be a good teammate.
All right, thanks, Nick. Back to you guys.
Taylor, Nick's got to be pretty happy with both sides of the ball. Special teams, yeah, said a couple hiccups on PATs, but going back to Arizona feeling pretty good right now.
They have to be, but you listen to what he says. It's never as good as it looks, and it's never as bad as it looks.
It's kind of like TV, isn't it?
I tell you what, talk about being a committed professional. This guy is, and it's an honor to watch him play. He's a great player, man.
Benson does it again. 4 touchdowns for the big guy. 3 on the ground, 1 via the pass. And Michael Benson and Rod Windsor, 4 TDs apiece. Arizona blasting Portland tonight.
I mean, he takes poor Reggie Wilson for a ride. Reggie gets to the backfield and hits him. There's just too much thunder in the thighs of Benson.
6 feet, 275 pounds of power. All right, let's see if Zendejas can finish off the night for that trip home on a positive note.
Hey, it's not all his fault. Shane Boyd's got to put the ball down as well. Good snap, good hold, and look what happens.
There you go.
Then bobble it.
That's better.
I'm going to give Shane half of those missed kicks. Get the good snap, laces out Frink, and he knocks it through. That's how it's supposed to look. There was no bobble by the quarterback, or the holder, I should say.
Nice and easy. (80-28). As we talked about, Warren I-4 latest edition in Tampa. Wow,
that's unheard of.
Predators on the road, a smackdown on the Storm tonight.
That's unheard of. You don't hear that happening very often. Cleveland struggling a bit. Deeker, 4 interceptions. Philadelphia was just short, losing to Jacksonville last year. This is a team on a mission as well. Can't wait till tomorrow night when Jacksonville and LA go at it.
Be a great one.
Ready ball on the ground off the net. And that kills your game.
It's happened all night to the steal. Perry and McMillan both have struggled. And there's just no way when you're consistently inside your own 5-yard line, you can make anything happen. 4 TDs for the big guy tonight from FAMU. Played baseball in college too. I bet he could hit that ball a mile away.
Crush it, will it?
Wow. Big guy's got some serious arms.
And good feet as well. I mean, that's so valuable. You know, you look at Philadelphia, they use a fullback. You look at Jacksonville, they use a fullback. I mean, all the teams that have success, you've got that threat of a runner in the backfield that can also protect.
Casey Peters passes. Perry trying to make some fancy moves, gets put down hard. Tyson all over him.
Oh no, JP, you don't want to go that way. That's where the really big dudes are coming from. I'll stay on your side and kind of get up the wall.
Final moments from Portland.
Now you're trying to get out of here healthy.
That's all.
Healthy.
Final play, perhaps of our game tonight. Peters end zone. Gilson makes the catch. Gives himself up here under a minute. Do that to stop the clock right away. Under 1 minute timing rule in effect.
I'm just not so sure outside of Jared Perry. And when you play physical with him, he struggles. I'm not so sure if there's a superior threat in that receiver core. You've got some guys that, if given space, can make plays, but I'm not so sure that there's a guy out there that can go take a game over, like a Morgan, Donovan Morgan, Rod Windsor.
Third down. Perry does make the catch. Smith the tackle, and that, unless there's a timeout. No, that's it. Game's over from Portland, 80-28.
Your final score, Portland Steel 28, Arizona Rattlers 80.
Arizona 8-0 all time, 7-0 in the regular season against the Portland franchise. And after a pretty good start on the touchdown catch from Truesdale, who was hurt on the play, really beyond that, it was all Kevin Guy in Arizona. Defense, a huge factor, and 4 touchdowns each in the game tonight from Rod Windsor and Michael Benson. Truesdale is on crutches now. That's a bad sign for the Steel.
It was, and it looked like a really bad sprain. Tell you what, this team came out focused and ready to play. From the first gun, they came out ready to play. They did a great job attacking defensively, and offensively they were patient, finding the guys, taking what the defense gave them. They were ready to play, and they showed why they are one of the top teams in this league year in and year out. What a great pickup right there, Damian Burrell. Devastating force from the defensive line position.
Let's go back on the field to Taylor.
All right, Coach, Arizona has never lost to Portland. You extend that streak to 8-0 tonight. How'd you get it done?
Well, you know, we got a lot of work to do. I mean, there's some areas that I'm not really happy with, but it's part of we got to grow as a team. So, you know, we'll address it. I mean, you know, I thought we had great effort. You know, I thought we played hard all the way around. You know, special teams, other than our extra points, I thought was great. Defensively, I thought we played solid. Offensively, we only gave up 1 stop. So, you know, we got something to build on, but we still got a long ways to go.
Now, you said these first couple games are similar to scrimmage games, figuring out what you're good at, what you're bad at, the things you need to work through. What'd you learn from your team?
Well, I mean, you know, extra points. I mean, that's the big thing that jumped out to me tonight. I mean, we had this issue last year. I mean, I'm about tired of it. So, you know, we got to get to it. But we got, you know, we'll get it corrected. You know, we changed both snappers in there. So, you know, we had some, you know, a couple balls rolled back and, you know, didn't get the laces out. So, Ace Ventura laces out. So, you know, we got some work to do there.
All right, well, work to do.
Hey.
Head on to the locker room. Congrats.
And for the record, Bonner, she's better looking than you and Gatewood. I'm glad she's down here.
Oh, my.
He said it, not me, guys.
Well, I'm going to tell you who's better looking than everybody tonight. Rod Windsor early on was devastating and dominating in every form of the word. Watch his hands catch over the shoulder, the accurate pass, and he and his quarterback are in sync. Their kismet is special right now. They're ready to go. These guys came out and performed in the first half. That one was special. The diving catch. He is just strong and efficient with his routes, and Nick knows exactly where he's going to be. The professional is off to a hot start this season.
Win number 265 all time in Rattlers history, number 1 in AFL history, and this was impressive. 80-28. For Seth Bonner, Taylor Rooks, and the entire crew, I'm Dave Ryan saying so long. Monday, April 11th, 7 Eastern, Jacksonville takes on Philadelphia. See you then. So long from Portland, Oregon.